My name is Benjamin Alimasi. I am 16 years old. I'm in 10th grade right now, and one thing I can say about me is that I am a follower of Christ, Jesus Christ, and I play soccer. And my goals and dreams are to become a professional soccer player. I found out that I really like soccer. Right now, I play for a team. It represents Houston. It's called Houston Dynamo. I play for the academy, and my dreams and goals are I want to become a professional soccer player, because I feel like if I become a professional soccer player, some people call it going to work, like going to play soccer, but for me, it wouldn't really be work. It's just I'm doing what I love doing, and that's that. Oh, for me, it was like the story just connected, like it was beautiful. So at first, I used to just play in the apartments and with my friends. And then one day, me and my friends, we just went walking, and we found some people playing at a church, and that church had a league. So we started playing there. We went there like every Saturday. And then they told me that they liked the way I play and they want me to play for like a competitive team. So they signed me up for that, and then I went. And then fortunately, I found this one coach. His name is Coach Harold. He contributed to me going to the Dynamo a lot, because he put me on this team. I didn't have to pay anything. He would like pay hotels for me. He was like, and now he's become like a family to me. And then one time we went to this, I went to this U.S. national team camp for the United States soccer team. And then the director of the Houston Dynamo Academy, he saw me, and then after the game, he came up to me. He gave me a card. And at first, I didn't really look at it like anything, because I always heard that the Houston Dynamo is so expensive. I was like, there's no way I'm going into this. So I just looked at the card. I was like, all right. And then I went home, and then that coach that I told you about, he kept taking me over there to the Houston Dynamo, even though it was like 30 minutes from my house. He would come every day, pick me up, have trials for like 6 months. And then after 6 months, they saw that they wanted me, so they signed me to the academy. I think it's about 3, going into 4 after this year, I think. Yeah, I like it a lot, because when you play there, you could see a clear path to where I want to go, to professional level, maybe even like college scholarships. But for me, I'm aiming for the professional level. So they have like really hard training, really good coaches. We travel outside the country, sometimes outside the states, and yeah, and they also push us really hard. The challenges I faced, at first, I faced the challenge of like, I really say I had support, but like, if you like would compare it to like the other kids in the same team with the same support they had, to me it seemed like I had, but for me, I just had to push myself, because like every time I would go to practice, I would see other kids with like their parents, and their parents telling them to do this, do that. But for me, it was like I would go home and I would have to put it in my head that I have to work. Like, it's like I really like became mature at a young age. So without even somebody telling me to go train so I could become better, I would go outside and start training by myself. And yeah, I was always looking to get better. And that's When I got into the Dynamo, my coach, my old coach, his name is Coach Hero, he told me that he won't be able to take me to practice no more. So I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to stay in this team because I'm gonna miss practice like every day because it's hard to find somebody to take you when like your family works like every day. So I was like, wow, I don't know. And then like out of nowhere, I was surprised to see that my family stepped up and like they started like engaging more in my soccer. They started taking me to practices more. Like my brother, his name is Derek Salem. He's the one asking the questions. I was really surprised, and it gave me a lot of courage to keep going when he like volunteered to take me to practice like almost every day. He would take me, and then he wait for me after practice like 2 hours, and then he'd take me back home. And yeah, they always do what they can. Even maybe sometimes they can do something else, but just like looking at what they did, like whatever they did, like every time I need motivation, I always look to them and see what they've been through, and then I just use that to practice harder, train harder, and play harder. What I'm gaining from this experience is like experience. I'm getting a lot of experience because I'm learning way more stuff, because if I didn't like do this, what I'm doing right now, like I think I would be way behind, because there's some things I didn't know back then. The coaches, they're really smart, so you just listen to what they're saying and then you just keep working on it. And now I could see like what I need to do to become a professional, the way I need to work, what I need to work on, how to stay motivated. To be really honest, since I came here at like a really young age, and like I remember some things from the Congolese, from Congo, but not that many. So I know a little bit. I could tell you just a little bit, but I don't think I have like the idea to be able to tell somebody and then for them to understand. If somebody did come to me and offer me help, one thing I would tell them to do is like, just like if they can, because it's really hard to like always trying to do it by yourself and always trying to motivate yourself always. But if they're like right next to me and they're telling me like every day, they're telling me, Benjamin, you gotta go practice. Benjamin, you gotta do this. Benjamin, you gotta do that. That would be really nice. I would really like that. Yeah, I crashed sometimes. I remember I used to cry because sometimes like I wouldn't have a right to go to practice, and then I would just think of when I have to text my coach and tell him I can't make it to practice today. Like sometimes that would just make me, I would just start crying out of nowhere. I don't know why. I used to just do that. And then other times, I don't know, this is kind of funny, but my dad, my dad, like, he's always like telling me to cut my hair short. And then I remember this one time we had a tournament, and then he's like, you can't go if you don't cut your hair. So I just started crying, and it was kind of embarrassing remembering it. That's a really good question. I really never thought of that, but I would think that if like the community, if we got like more engaged and we started knowing what other people are doing and encouraging them, and like maybe just like getting together a little bit more, I think that would help like everybody else, and just motivating each other. To my family, I say thank you for everything they've done for me, because my family has done so much that I don't even understand how they did it. They've been through so much, and I just been sitting there because I'm like the last kid. So I was little, I just look at them doing stuff, and I was like, oh. And now that I'm kind of old, I see like, wow, they really went through a lot to get here. So I'm really thankful for all they did to me. Yeah, I just gotta give all glory to God, and I hope that God could favor me in this career that I'm choosing, and He can just be there with me. Because without God, none of this would have happened.
Okay. What's your name? Tell us about you.
My name is Benjamin Alimasi.
Who is Benjamin Alimasi?
Benjamin Alimasi, he's a kid from Congo, DRC, and he went to, was it Uganda? Yeah, Uganda, and now he's in America and just living life.
Oh, so was you born in Congo or Uganda?
I was born in Congo, DRC Congo.
Okay. How old are you again?
I'm 16 years old.
Wow. And
So when I first got to America, I went to the first grade. That's where I started from. And in the first grade, it was a little bit tough because I'm like a new student. I didn't know the language. I didn't know anything. So like sometimes they may bully you because of what you're wearing, but I mean, I didn't care at that time. And then like I think I was pretty smart as soon as I started. So I was getting stuff fast. And then they switched me out of like English still learning, and they put me in regular classes like from an early start. And then yeah, since then I get good grades. I just recognize stuff fast, and yeah, and then school just became more fun as soon as I learned the language. I had gained more friends, and yeah, that's it. In elementary, like I remember I used to have a lot of fights with my mom and dad because they would tell me to wear these shoes, and I would say no because if I take them, I know that they're gonna laugh at me. But they didn't understand because they never like been to like school like that. So those are the type of challenges I faced, like the language. I didn't know English, so sometimes they would tell me something I wouldn't understand, and it would just take a long time for me to actually get it. But then when I actually got the language, I started getting better at it. And without knowing the language, it was like kind of hard to make friends at first. But then like with me, I just use soccer to make a lot of friends. From what I've been through, what I would tell them is like, when you come here, there's like a lot of stuff going on. There's like kids doing this, kids doing that, and it's so easy to get caught up with what they're doing. Sometimes they start smoking, they start doing all these other things. So easy to get caught up with that. But for me, I would tell them to just, you know that you came here with your family, and your family, if they're African, they're like really strict and want you to do good. So I was telling them like, stay focused, find what you want to do, and then work really hard to get there.